We are going to have a conversation about the most extravagant wedding in this video. Before we begin, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Best for Brides channel so that you don't miss any future updates. It's common knowledge that weddings can put a significant dent in your bank account. A lot of individuals are willing to spend whatever amount is necessary to make sure that their wedding is everything they've imagined it to be because it's only going to happen once in their lives. Even while most people don't have the financial means to host a wedding like the one in Crazy Rich Asians, the world's ultra-wealthy can design any kind of wedding they can imagine, complete with elaborate embellishments, couture gowns, and meals that would put Michelin chefs to shame. It is common practice for engaged couples to save aside a sizable sum of money for their wedding day, which is quite fair given that a wedding is often only celebrated once in a person's lifetime. There are some couples that go even further than that, and there is no question that the entire globe has witnessed its fair share of weddings with jaw-droppingly expensive guest lists. Many of the most prominent members of high society, including actresses, singers, and even royalty, have blown their budgets out of proportion when it comes to their weddings in order to make sure that their big day is one that will never be forgotten. The wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana is often considered to be the most lavish celebration ever held. The marriage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, which took place on July 29, 1981, is commonly referred to as the wedding of the century, and with good cause. The extravagant event, which was held at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, with a price tag of over $48 million, which would be equivalent to approximately $156 million today when adjusted for inflation. The wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana took place some decades ago. Since then, no other wedding has been able to compare to it. The royal wedding between Prince Charles and Princess Diana in 1981 is widely considered to be the most costly wedding in history. The event, which took place in front of a personal audience of 3,500 people and was watched by 750 million people across the world via television, was aired live. The bridal dress worn by Princess Diana was embellished with 10,000 pearls and featured a train that was 25 feet long. From her home to the cathedral, she was transported in a glass carriage by a personal driver. However, the marriage was put under significant strain since both Charles and Diana engaged in sexual relations with a number of other individuals. The divorce between the royal pair took place in 1996, 1 year before to Princess Diana's untimely death in a car accident together with her lover, the Egyptian businessman Dodi Fayed. The ceremony followed the customary format of a wedding service held in the Church of England. The ceremony was presided over by Alan Webster, Dean of St. Paul's, while Robert Runcie, Archbishop of Canterbury, officiated over the marriage ceremony. Many members of other royal houses, Republican heads of state, and members of the families of the bride and groom were present at the wedding. These notable personalities were among the attendees. Following the service, the newlyweds took part in a time-honored custom by appearing together on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. In honor of the wedding, a national holiday was observed throughout the United Kingdom on the day in question. There were various components of ceremony that took place, including as the usage of state carriages and rolls for the foot guards and household cavalry during the event. Their nuptials were heralded as the wedding of the century and the fairy tale wedding by numerous media outlets. According to estimates, approximately 750 million people around the world watched it on television. In order to commemorate the wedding, events were held all around the Commonwealth. In order to commemorate the event, a large number of block parties were organized all around the United Kingdom. After 15 years of marriage, the couple divorced in 1996 after they had been separated since the year 1992. The festivities surrounding the wedding lasted for an entire week. It is reported that the royal couple spent close to $100 million on their extravagant wedding, despite the fact that very few images of the occasion were made public. A report published in Forbes states that during the event, wedding gifts for the princess were carried on the backs of 20 camels that had been decked with jewelry. With the exception of King Juan Carlos I and Queen Sofia of Spain, all of the governors general of the Commonwealth nations and the current monarchs of Europe were present at the event. King Juan Carlos I and Queen Sofia of Spain were not there. Because the newlyweds' honeymoon included a detour in the disputed province of Gibraltar, the Spanish king was advised not to attend by his government. The majority of Europe's elected heads of state were present, with the exception of the president of Greece, Constantine Karamanlis, who declined the invitation because Greece's exiled monarch, Constantine II, a kinsman and friend of the bridegroom, had been invited as King of the Hellenes, and the President of Ireland, Patrick Hillary. The majority of Europe's elected heads of state were present, with the exception of the President of Greece, Constantine Karamanlis, who was advised by Taoiseach Charles Haughey not to attend because of the dispute over the status of Northern Ireland. At the wedding, former First Lady Nancy Reagan served as the United States official representative. The Gambia Socialist Revolutionary Party attempted a coup d'état in President Dada Jawara's native country of the Gambia while he was away attending his daughter's wedding. Friends of the couple were also invited to the wedding, and the bride also sent an invitation to the employees of the nursery school where she had previously held a position. The Prince of Wales extended invitations to a number of artists, including Spike Milligan and Harry Seckham, and asked them to perform at the event. After the ceremony, the newlyweds and their guests celebrated their special day with a wedding brunch at Buckingham Palace. At 13:10 British Standard Time, Prince Charles and Princess Diana made their customary appearance on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. They delighted the crowd when they kissed, which is considered to be the beginning of the tradition of kissing the bride on the balcony. In honor of the royal wedding, fireworks were sent off above Hyde Park, and 100 beacons were lit up all around the country throughout the night. The wedding reception featured 27 different cakes. The Naval Armed Forces were in charge of supplying the cake for the official wedding. The cake was produced over the course of 14 weeks by David Avery, who is the head baker of the Royal Naval Cookery School in Chatham, Kent. They prepared 2 cakes that were exactly the same in case one of them was ruined. The multi-layer fruitcake that measured 5 feet in height and weighed 225 pounds was decorated with the family crest of the Spencer family as well as the coat of arms of the Prince of Wales. The Belgian pastry chef S.G. Sender, who was renowned as the cake maker to the kings, was responsible for the creation of the couple's second wedding cake. Chef Nicholas Lodge, who had previously prepared the cake for the Queen Mother's 80th birthday and was also commissioned to produce a christening cake for Prince Harry, made another wedding cake. Chef Nicholas Lodge also made the cake for the Queen Mother's 80th birthday. Julian's Auctions held an auction in 2018 to sell a piece of the couple's wedding cake, and it was expected that the slice would fetch between $800 and $1,200 at the auction. At an auction in 2021, another chunk brought in the price of £1,850, $2,565. There are no methods that can be used to validate these estimates, but it is claimed that 750 million people throughout the world watched the ceremony on television, and this number purportedly increased to 1 billion when the radio audience was added in. In the United Kingdom, 28.4 million people watched the event on either BBC or ITV. Angela Rippon, Peter Woods, Tom Fleming, Winfred Vaughan Thomas, Rolf Harris, and Terry Wogan were among the BBC broadcasters who provided coverage on radio and television respectively. The provision of subtitles during BBC Two's coverage, which was dubbed the first big appearance for the Valentine system, was done with the intention of attracting viewers who are hearing challenged. The event was covered by close to 100 television networks and was transmitted in 50 different countries. Following the service, there was a significant increase in the demand for electricity in the UK, as reported by the National Grid. The wedding ceremony was well received by the general public, and according to the New York Times, it represented the continuance of the monarchy in the United Kingdom. In order to commemorate the event and spread joy across the United Kingdom, a variety of public gatherings, including observances and celebrations, were held in a variety of locations. It is believed that about 10 million people participated in the street parties in London, of which 600,000 people lined the streets to attend the ceremony and watch it live on television. There was extensive coverage of the wedding on television and radio in a great number of nations, and the event was covered by various news networks in a variety of languages. John Betjeman, who is the poet laureate of the United Kingdom, has written a poem in their honor and published it. What are your thoughts on the video? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Make sure to subscribe to the Best for Brides channel for the most recent information if you would like to hear from us again.